on the we everywhere. Yay!
We everywhere. Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the talk think show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so-called people that they call African Americans today didn't come to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One, and tonight we're going to be talking to the Accawmackes guardian
Yay!
angel, Lisa Cyphers. Lisa, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me, Carrie. It's an honor and a pleasure.
No, when you guys hear this sister speak, it's like it just cuts straight through all the bull, and it's cool and it's good to listen to.
Hmm.
But since this is Valentine's Day, Lisa wanted to come up with something where we love on each other.
Right.
So that's what
Right.
we're gonna talk about today. So, ma'am, the floor is yours.
It's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. What does that mean? Oh, another pagan holiday. Okay, whatever. Let's go with it. Okay. Let's go with the holiday. It's a pagan holiday. All right. So, how are we loving each other? How are we loving each other? I started thinking about how we're loving each other when I had the other night I worked and I had a couple of young sisters in their 20s, young nurses they said, Miss Lisa, we feel like, what, is it weird, but we feel like we're a minority. We're like, and you know how they feel like they're a minority? Because there's so many Africans in the hospital that they feel like they're a minority, and they are. I said, baby, you're not imagining that. It's real. You are the minority. As a matter of fact, they're your replacements. Introduce yourself to the real African Americans, and you can just disappear as you're supposed to do. And so they're
Now,
disappearing.
can I ask you a question? What city is this in? Because I want to put this into some context.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, so
Right. We're
Atlanta, Georgia.
right downtown Atlanta.
Okay,
Uh, we have invited. Okay, this is so crazy, the love. Okay, we love everybody but each other. We love everybody. Negro Indians are the most loving, giving, sharing people with everyone but each other. Do you think we were always that way? Mm-mm. Do you think we've been programmed to be this way? Mm-hmm. It's a spell we're under. It's a program we're playing. We're riding with it, and we need to stop it because they don't love us like we loving on them, and nobody's loving us. So if we're not loving each other and loving ourselves, no one is going to love us. Understand that. They love what we give, they love what we make, they love what we have to contribute, but they detest us. Hmm. You know that. You know you've been hired to go ahead and put together programs and help this and organize that, and then they get rid of your butt as soon as they use everything they have from you. You know this. Okay. We hard on each other. We're so hard on each other. Hard. Hard and
so
hard and stingy.
this is what I wanted to say on that. Because you say something, and I think it's as a group we look at it one way, but
Mm-hmm.
how it is totally different. Here's an example. So the
Right.
reason I asked you, where were you, and you were saying Atlanta.
Right.
Now, to the rest of the world, or to us, the perception is Atlanta's the biggest Negro city in the South.
Oh yeah.
But how you say it is not like that at all.
Well, we value what is not us, and that's been by design. And what we don't understand is this whole infatuation with all things African. When the Africans come to your doorstep, when the Africans are in the board meeting, and I love it. no, don't get me wrong, baby. I got some good people, loving, wonderful friends that are from Nigeria and different countries. However, the reality is they ride hard for each other. What do I say? I say we go to the house party and we come with our Tupperware and our plastic bags and we trying to figure out how much we can run away with. We come to the wedding, we trying to get the centerpieces and everything they ain't tied down, all the extra alcohol bottles and bring them home. However, the Africans conversely, if you know them, like I know, they are trying to bring all the money. They're dumping up their bank accounts at that party. Okay. They're trying to see who gave the most money, who brought the most dishes, the most expensive dishes. I brought shrimp. Oh, I brought lobster. Okay. Oh, I brought 5 pans of lobster. Oh, you bought 3. Oh, excuse me. You're not doing enough. You know, see what I'm saying? They compete on a way different level. We compete on what we can take away and get away with. And they compete on how much they give to each other. Who's going to do better? Who's gonna do better?
Yeah, that's
Huh?
exactly how it is.
We got to do better. We have. I mean, everybody's been colonialized to a degree, but we have had our minds jacked, our spirits jacked. We're supposed to be the most Christian people. We're so Christian. We're so Christian. We go to our religious ceremonies. We read our text, but we don't have it in our hearts. We don't have it in. Where does it count, y'all? It counts in your heart. It counts in how you express it because it's so much inside of you. You're so full of that love and caring and that good spirit that you can't help but let it show. It just shines out. It just emits from your spirit, your pores. Okay? But when you're faking it to make it, you're not gonna make it nowhere. Where you making it to? Who you faking it for? Okay, who are you faking being good for? What good does that do? I mean, people got things like ideas and things they can contribute. Oh, I ain't gonna tell him. He just gonna use it. Okay. Oh, he gonna use it and you're gonna die with it. People dying with money in their accounts. People dying with ideas and thoughts and plans in their heads that they trying to keep to themselves. Sorry, y'all. You know, and they're not sharing it. What good is it doing? Get yourself a daggone, get yourself a patent, a provisional patent, a trademark it, copyright it and share it. Share whatever you need to share. You should share your stuff because you can't take it with you. And that's the most important thing we can do is give of ourselves, share of ourselves, give of ourselves. Not that you don't want to be paid, okay? Copyright it, trademark it, share it, okay? And when you share things, you are creating. That's you being a creator when you share. That's how you create. That's how you build bigger than you because you're helping that other person that's watching you. You're helping that other person you're creating a job for, okay? You are building and creating people. Okay. Don't sit at your house spending on Amazon and running around trying to go to the yard sales and doing all kind, going through the thrift store, whatever you do, whatever your thing, gambling on the weekend, taking a bus. You going to church on Sunday, Saturday, you going to the casinos. Come on now. Come on now. Why? We need to be better. But we also need to be about our business. Okay. So at the same time, why are we cheap with each other? Why, when we got some black business, brother got his shade tree garage, daggone roof is falling in. He charges real low, but don't nobody try to give him a little extra because hey, that's what it is, and he just like trying to be a good guy. And he broke, and his wife got cancer, and they just barely making it. You know what I mean? And he riding around fixing on his cars and just doing what you got to do. You riding new rides and doing your big things, but you still don't want to give more money to the brother. Why? Got a brother out here that's right on Facebook. He is so talented. He's like a genius. You would know it. He's just very humble. He's very plain. He's just a nice old country guy, but he's a genius. Okay. and probably an angel. I don't know. Because I tell you what, he don't charge hardly nothing for his work. He can build you an air conditioner from scratch. He kept my old air conditioner going for 7 daggone years. I promise you. Okay. And I, have sent him to several people, and I had to start being careful because people are not, they don't love, they don't care, they don't love. I said, the man charges so little, you need to give him more. He charges too little. This man came to the hospital. Nurse was crying. I'm sweating. I'm so old. I can't take it. I'm working so hard. It's hot. I can't take it. I got to go back to this hot place, my hot condo. They charging me $5,000. I can't take it. I give this man this number. The brother comes there, gets the person's keys, goes to the condo, gets the part, goes back, brings the keys back to the nurse, and only charges $300. I was like, that's all you paid him? You couldn't double that? You couldn't triple it? You know you was fixing to be out of $5,000, right? You know you was fixing to be out of $5,000. Just because he is of that humble mind and a humble spirit, and he's trying to be a good, a good guardian of this life, doesn't mean we don't do right by each other, okay? We need to do right by each other. And don't be angry if somebody says, oh, he's asking, people are donating their house to his cause or to his 5031c. They donating their property. They, upon their death, they willing stuff to him. Who cares? If that's what that person wants to do, people donate things to animal funds and all kinds of stupid stuff, churches. So if we are getting things and gaining things because people see that what we are delivering to them is a value, do not hate on each other. Why are we hating on each other? Because somebody's getting something. Why are we talking ill about each other? Because somebody's trying to, they're doing things, but there are certain people that are doing more than what you did for them. They think more of what they did for them, obviously, than you did. But yet you wouldn't even know about it unless they did something for you. So why be angry?
I find that what you said, I mean, it's like we thrive on that. It's like we can. It's like it's Friday night tonight. Imagine how much financial energy indigenous people are going to put into the alcohol industry tonight.
Right. Red Lobster.
Whatever.
Red Lobster gonna kill it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and we do this.
And alcohol, you're right. Alcohol gonna kill it.
Yeah.
Who developed whiskey? We did. Whiskey and wine. Who did all that? Whiskey, wine, weed, and tobacco. We did all that.
And we don't even and a brother or sister who out there doing something worthwhile, we'll look at them. I don't get that. I never got that with us. How we're arrogant in to make sure that another person doesn't make it.
Desegregation babies. That's the problem. We are the desegregation babies. And we are just trash. That's what it is. Because before desegregation, we had to work together. And we did. We negotiated. We appreciated. We had to keep that good relationship going. Okay? But when desegregation hit, boo, oh, I don't need you. I gotta go to the Italian place or the Scottish place, Irish place, the Chinese place. I don't need you. No. I ain't gotta work here. I'm gonna work over there, do this. No. We are the desegregation babies, and then we made our own babies worse than what we are. Gave them everything we could think of before they even asked for it. Got a whole generation of people that expect things to fall in their mouth like they, like what? Fall in their laps. Meanwhile, the world is changing. Meanwhile, the desegregation babies was the last, because when they realized that this middle class was coming up to the upper, then they changed the whole game on all the races. They said, oh, no more middle class. Oh, stop the union, stop the presses, stop everything. No more money. Stop the wages, stop the increases, stop the benefits, and increase the cost of education for everybody. We don't want to share. We're the aristocracy. So we don't understand that we are peasants. We're peasants. We don't understand what's really going on. We're peasants. And that whole experiment in education was just that, okay, maybe we can program these people. We can use education to let them know what we need them to know. Hence, we became African Americans. Hence, we had a whole narrative of just being slaves. That's all you are, slaves. When really the real slaves were the whites. The whites came over as slaves. The whites were the majority of slaves. So if you're going to ask for reparations, they need to get some too. And that's why if you've ever been in a genealogy group with white people, if you ever like join one, they'll be like, I can't find anything. I'm hitting all this. They can't find nothing. They ain't got no records. Because unless you're aristocracy, you ain't got them because you're slave. And their records are worse than ours. Because we were Indians, they would try to keep track of. So they low-key kept our names and stuff. Not even low-key. They kept our names. But those peasants that they sent over, those peasant slaves, they didn't. Those peasant European slaves, they didn't keep all those records. No interest, no reason. They didn't own the land here. So when white people, when European people are in a genealogy group and they're trying to do their research, they're having a hard time, a really hard time. And we got documentation. Okay, so what are we gonna do? We have become these desegregated peasants who have gotten a taste for the good life. And then it's being yanked away from our children. Okay? What we had a taste of and got to share with our kids, they're yanking it away from them. They're yanking it away from our grandchildren.
I have a question, to put that in context. Okay, so you said they're it was given to one generation, but now it's being taken away from the next generation. Could you put into context with the baby boomers that are sitting down now and the generation after that?
Okay, so the baby boomers, okay, that's the baby boomers. Okay, so that's 1940s through 1964. I'm the last of the baby boomers, right? We're the last of the baby boomers. Okay, so the baby boomers, they got it. Okay, the top of the baby boomers, they got the worst of them got Vietnam. That was kind of jacked up. But the next little group, they got college. They got Nikki Giovanni. They got all them people. Like they got all that. And they were encouraged. They had applications sent in. They were I'm getting into medical school. I know people that have told me that their husband straight up got pushed into medical school. Okay. So, I mean, there's like 2 years of that. I'm not talking about 10. When was the affirmative action? About 2 years, maybe.
Yeah.
2 years. 1970, 1971. I'm over. No more. Affirmative action over. Okay. So, basically 2 years of affirmative action, and then people still could go to college. There was still, it was still affordable for another 10. Okay. So with that being the case, then you got also the unions were live. You could get a work. Not only was it a living wage, it was a rising up wage. You could actually, pay for a house, put your kids through school, get nice cars. With the unions, it wasn't just for us, it was for all the peasants. Okay, all the peasants got it. But then they were like, nah, these peasants are coming up and moving in my neighborhood. This is not good. We can't have the peasants in our neighborhoods. And they're also cutting into my American pie. And that is not, that cannot happen. I am an aristocrat. I need all the money. So our confusion is that this is a democracy and there's like, everybody has a chance and it's America, beautiful, and it's about everybody rising up. No, that's not how it was made. That's not how it's designed. That's not how they want it. That's not what it is. And I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. All you care about is being at the top. That's all they care about. Let's go to the daggone. Let's go to Remember, I wanted to talk about Harriet Tubman. I don't believe in Harriet Tubman because Harriet Tubman was designed by the people who were the abolitionists. And guess what? They didn't care about those Negroes. If they cared about the Negroes, when the Negroes were free, why didn't they make sure we all got what we were promised? Our 40 acres and a mule, our undergird, our foundation. Why would they want us to be set free in a foreign land to starve to death? If they were worried about how cruel slavery was, it's very cruel to starve to death in a foreign land if it's foreign. No, the abolitionists, what they cared about was money. The same thing everybody cares about today. And what was happening during that time, put yourself back there. During the abolitionist time, during the 1850s, the South was seceding from the North. They were saying, we got all the money. We got all the slaves. We got all the cotton. They were making big money in the South, okay? All the money was being made in the South, not the North. And the South was going to secede. Heck no. That meant the North was left to starve. No shared money. They didn't care about us. See, I thought my redneck friends were lying when they said the Civil War was not about slavery. I thought you're just being racist. Now I realize I prayed on it and I talked to my ancestors about it, and yeah, it's true. It wasn't about us. It was about money. It was about the fact that they were going to lose all the money to the South separating. And in order to stop the South from separating, the way they punished them, the way they checked them was to get rid of slavery. And that's why once slavery was over, they didn't care about us. They got what they wanted. Everybody had to still pay taxes. Everybody still had to put all their money in one pot, and they were all in one union. And only money that was worth anything was union money. All about money, y'all. We didn't count for nothing. So all that stuff the abolitionists created, like the slave ship diagrams, that was created by abolitionists, you know. That was part of the whole influence to say, oh, slavery is wicked and awful. Look at them looking like sardines being carted here. That's what it is. It was all a part of the ploy to make it look like, oh, this is a horrible thing, this slavery thing. We got to end it. Yep. And then at the same time, the South was succeeding. They were doing things like the Clotilda, and they were doing things like in South Carolina, finding daggone stray African-looking Negroes to say that they were African all over the South, little in a town here and a little town there. They looking for people to claim they're African, so that the Negro Indians would say, "Oh, I guess we are African. Then I guess they got an official African there. They got one."
Yeah, that African story's been going on a very long time.
Right. And yeah, go ahead. And it's all about money, right? It's all about money. It's all about putting us off our land and keeping all the money, right? So they encourage people, just like they do today, to further that whole lie. Whether you're acting like you come from Africa, like you're saying, "Oh yeah, I came on a ship, and I remember I came, and oh yeah, I'm African." Whether they pay people to say they're African, or they pay people to encourage others to herd them over to Africa, they do that. They do that now, whether they're paying Lil Wayne or whether it's Marcus Garvey, who he wasn't trying to move. He wasn't trying to move. He was trying to move us, but he wasn't trying to move. Jesse Jackson claimed he started calling us African American, but he calls himself Indian. He does claim his native status. So why are we doing this? It's all about money. It's keeping the money to the United States corporation, keeping it all together. That's what it's all about. That's what is all these politics that we sit there and listen to, and we think we're gonna our votes count. I'm gonna get out there and vote. Who? It was already planned. Who? There's about 12 guys like the Constitution planning this stuff. And we're just running around like little crazy peasants, thinking we got a say. We ain't got no say in this. We still got slavery, and we don't even know
it. Explain that, because a lot of people hear you say that and they'll be like, I ain't no slave. You don't tell me. Explain how we're still slaves and we're happy to be slaves.
We are so happy to be slaves. We are so happy to get up in the morning and go to our jobs to get a check, which is all a formality, okay? Because none of the stuff that we are paying for should we be paying for. Everything we need is free and it should be ours. We are paying to live in a way that is against our nature, and we're paying to live in a way that is killing us slowly, and we're paying to do a job that is not something that we should be doing. And that's the one level of slavery. What are we? We are bonded slaves, right? We're bonded slaves, going to work, bonded slavery. That's the same thing, right? And then you got the people that are forever slaves, the ones with the numbers. We all got numbers. I got a bonded slave number. Then we got the people that got the extra number, right? The prison number, okay? Then we got the slave catchers, right? The police. So what are they doing? They looking for people. They looking for slaves, and they looking for escaped slaves, people that got the number, and they're gonna catch them to put them back where they belong, in the prison, in the slave camp. So we got, and in Atlanta, I don't know about other states, but in Atlanta and Decatur and DeKalb County, where the Negroes live, not in the neighborhoods where the other people live, but if it's a predominantly Negro neighborhood, you got police in your middle schools and your high schools, and they don't go to detention; they go to jail. Y'all got that? Y'all have that where y'all live? I don't know, but we have actual police cars that say DeKalb County School Police. You don't go to the principal's office; you go to jail. They are taking our babies from school to jail. Does that not disturb anyone? It happened after my kids got out of school, and I didn't even realize it happened until several years after. I don't even know how you go to a good PTA meeting and say, yes, we want the police in our schools. That makes us feel better. Who did that? Who thought that was a good idea? It's frightening. We don't love our kids. We don't think our kids, okay, yeah, there's some bad kids, but we're not the ones coming to school and shooting up a whole mess of people. Those things are horrible and tragic, and it shouldn't happen anywhere. But having the police in schools is really not the solution. Locking babies up for a fight in the hallway is not a solution. I mean, not to say nothing, but if they're really violent offenders, then yeah, you got to bring the police into the matter. But that should be the exception, not the rule. Like, why are we making it the rule? And only in our neighborhoods, though. People say to me, I talk to people and they say, well, you don't understand. These kids are different these days. These kids are dangerous. You don't understand. I don't know. I'm not in the schools. However, are we that occupied with buying stuff and being on Facebook? We are on Facebook, but you know what I'm saying? Being on Facebook, being in our TVs, being in our phones, and we don't even, our kids are that far gone? Are they that far gone now? Are they just out there just crazy?
I don't think it's the kids so much. I think it's the parents.
Right, but what are we doing? We're not parenting, right? What are we doing? Yeah. We on our dating apps? What are we doing?
Okay, so turning this all back to love. What would you suggest what would be an indigenous way to see if everything is going wrong? What would be the specifics used to fix it?
We need to take them back. We need to start our own schools. And in the meantime, we need to infiltrate the schools. We need to be our own scouts. We need to, the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts was jacked from the daggone Indians. We are the true scouts. We need to take our children and teach them how to, let me tell you something. When I got a real good preview of what being a real good Negro was when I sent my daughter to a school I couldn't keep her in, but it was most wonderful at the time, and I hope it still is, Hampton University. Okay, that's where the Accawmackes are from, right? Hampton University. Hampton University. My daughter called me. She said her daggone house mother woke up in the middle of the night, made them all wake up at like 2 or 4 in the morning and said some nasty girl snuck out. And she called them out for not being in it, for one child not being in her bed when she was supposed to be in her bed. Okay? I was like, this only happens when we take care of each other. Okay? I was like, I felt so good. I'm like, gosh, there's somebody looking out for my child, making sure my child is not being ratchet. Okay? This is wonderful. That's what happens when Negroes take care of Negroes. We build each other's character. We make us into better people. We look out for each other's sense of pride and sense of dignity. We don't let ourselves slut ourselves out there. Okay? We don't let that happen. That doesn't happen anywhere else but when we take care of each other. And that's what we need to start doing. Taking care of each other like we're family. Snatching each other up and talking to each other and having a conversation. I talked to somebody just the other day. He said his nephew called him from jail and he said, I am not going to talk to you till you get out and you get back in the halfway house. And I said, well, why did you say that? He said, well, I don't want to talk to him until I said, well, he's a captive audience now. Perhaps you can impact him in some way. Make some kind of impression in his mind since all he got to do is think. Let him know that he's volunteering for slavery. Let him know how he's putting himself in that position by the dumb stuff he's doing. Somebody's waiting for you to do dumb stuff. They're looking for you to do dumb stuff. I think we have to mentor. We need to be mentors and care people and we need to visit each other like we used to. We need to talk to the children, talk to the old people, and visit the old people, and bring the kids, bring the babies to see the old people, even if they're not your old people. When I used to Girl Scout lead for the Girl Scouts, I used to bring the kids to the nursing home. That was our outing. We did that. We came, the little brownies, we went to the nursing home and cheered up the old people. We need to do things that are going to make us stronger and build us up and encourage each other. That's how we need to love. And we need to expect more from each other and give more from each other. And don't be mad when we get stuff. Congratulate. Sometimes we get that ego and we get that little like, why is she doing that? I caught myself doing that. Why is he doing it? Oh, he's doing that kind of business. Well, shoot, that's my area. We act like there's a lack. Like if he's doing it, I can't do it, and she can't do it, and he can't do it, and that one can't do it. We can all do it because the way we do it ain't for everybody. There's room for everyone to do everything. It's not a limit. It's infinity. It's infinity. Don't hate when someone's doing something, and congratulate and ask them how you can help them. What can I do for you? Because if you help them, you'll learn. And then you can do it, or you can tell somebody else how it's done. Share it. Life's too short. We need to make sure that we are giving of ourselves. And when you give of when you share, it builds you up. It don't see. We think when we share, we lose. That's what we're acting like. We act like I give it to you, I ain't gonna have none. Oh, no, no. That's not how it works. The more you share, that's the more you get. You get so much because when you share, it's not just that one share. It travels. It grows. That's the law of nature. You living by somebody else's law.
Yeah, that's a point that I can't believe we're missing that. I can't believe we're missing that. And I guess that's what I mean about how, we got to connect ourselves back to back to that matrix of nature. We're totally against that. Not
Exactly.
looking not looking at how nature is in abundance. And we disconnected ourselves from nature so much,
Mm-hmm.
and it's unbelievable.
Right, right. We don't even watch it. I think we probably try to fast forward out of anything, even if we see it on the TV screen. We don't want to be outside in it. We act like we have some aversion to it. And it just wants to bring us back in so we can be our whole selves. But we won't do it. We don't want to be hot. We don't want to see, but remember when we had the summit watching the spiders? Remember at the summit, after the summit, we was at the fireplace watching the spiders, watching all the spiders scatter, and just like, oh, look at all the spiders. They thought they had a little winter place to stay, and they was mad because we built that fire in there. I mean, why are we running from them? Why are we running from nature? They have something to teach us. Them spiders were all in there together. I didn't know spiders. Did you know spiders stayed like that? I didn't even know spiders live like that.
That
Like
was
they
my
were all in the fireplace together, y'all. We were at the back of this house that we rented, and there was we brought logs in there, and we started fire, that night after we ate, and there were spiders, tons of them. I mean, I didn't know spiders lived in like a community, like a spider city. That was what's in that fireplace. And they came running out of everywhere, up, down, on the ground, all around our feet, everywhere. And we just watched them and like was checking them out. We weren't tripping. But the whole thing is that who knew spiders lived in a community? You know what I mean? They
Nature. That's one thing I can say about being in the South. Nature, it's unbelievable. And I
right.
think what us moving to the cities away from the South and away from our homes where our people are from, I think that really helped in our de-evolution.
I think the cities did this. We did not. We were forced into the cities. Is true, but also understand that we built the cities. Understand that when they came, we had cities. We had cities, but we had cities that were at one with nature.
Right.
When you see Machu Picchu and all those places, they're on the rolling grass. They have hills. They have waterways. You have to understand what they had. What we see as remains there already was here. We had castles, and we had cities, and we had it all. Okay. So because we're an advancing people, we don't stay in one place. We ain't staying we ain't staying in, sitting around a campfire all the time, but we appreciate the fire and nature and the animals and everything. And we give thanks and appreciation for all that is in nature. So that thing we have lost completely. I mean, we're giving our babies hot Cheetos. I can't take it. When I see a baby eating hot Cheetos, I just want to just die. Just hot Cheetos, hot
Oh man.
Cheetos. And then you want I don't know why he act like that. Oh no, he don't want to taste still. When he just be that, he don't want to listen. The baby is working off of hot Cheetos. How's his brain supposed to develop? We used to go fishing, honey. We used to hunt and get that fresh meat, honey, with that good fat in it. Your brain needs fat and sugar, the right kind, not hot Cheetos. You can't build no brain on that. And the brain is very limited. It's in a shell. It's very fragile. It's one of the most fragile parts of your body. Once your brain gets shot, that's why a stroke is detrimental. Because once your brain takes a hit, boo boo, that's why they got it in a shell. Because once it takes a hit, they got nothing to do. You got nothing. You got nothing. It doesn't recover. Your heart muscle can recover from a heart attack. It can recover. Even your kidneys can take a shot a little bit of damage and kick back from the damage. And your liver can too. But that brain is rough when it gets a bad hit. So we need to feed the brain right. When they say brain food, that's for real. They're only discovering what we always knew. Understand, all these little things you see on the internet about this stuff, they're only discovering what we always knew. Big Mama knew. What did they give her? Castor oil? That's all for your body. It heals everything. You want a cold sore to go away? Put some castor oil on it.
How do we get away? Those things that work, how do we just turn our backs on them?
Because it's that desegregation generation. And you know what they did? The TV did it to us. Because everything they showed on the TV was not us. And it was so good. It was the best. It's great. Like Kellogg's, okay? Everything was great. And everything that was great was not what we were told by our big mama. It wasn't what we were used to. We gave up cooking a ham, roasting it, and slicing it off and putting it in the fridge and eating it till it was gone. We gave up that to go into the delicatessen and getting preserved, I don't know, medicated food in a plastic container with a dome called Oscar Mayer. There's a name for my bologna. What? That's what we gave up. We gave up the meal for the Oscar Mayer has a way. Okay, we gave it all up for that.
What's bologna?
Oscar Mayer bologna.
What is bologna?
What is that? What is it? And that's why we are the way we are now. No, I'm guilty. I'm a TV baby. I'm the last of the baby boomers. I'm a last of the baby boomers, and I'm a TV baby. I came home from school and I was like this: Sesame Street, Electric Company. I was that. I Dream of Genie. Don't tell me nothing about no I Dream of Genie. I was all in it. I was all in that Genie. Okay. Lost in Space. Please believe I was watching all that.
What is bologna?
What is bologna? Everything you should not be eating. And then they make it taste tasty. Just like Twinkies. Oh, I don't want that pound cake, Big Mama. I want the Twinkie. We did that. What's this sandwich with the sliced turkey in it from the turkey dinner? I wanted some Coke. I wanted some bologna. We did that. Big Mama couldn't give us that. Couldn't even give us all her good stuff because we wanted the bologna, Oscar Mayer. We wanted that. We wanted the Twinkie. We didn't want the pound cake, that nice, buttery, delicious, heavy pound cake that she baked. We wanted some Twinkie. We did that.
Wow. How do you turn the indigenous people into these robots? Well, they'll eat anything.
Right?
Anything. At least a dog will come up and smell something, or something from nature will come up and smell something, and if it's not to be eaten, they won't mess with it.
Right.
We will eat anything.
Because it's yes. And we like it. We like it like that. We like people to tell us what we should like too. We like that.
Yeah.
Tell us what we should like. We like that. Tell us what's good and bad, what's acceptable. Oh, you want us to listen to what? Oh, we got to watch exploitation movies. Oh, yeah, we want to watch all the movies about heroin, pimps, and hoes. That's what we want to watch. We want to be told what's good for us. We don't want no love stories. Nah, we don't want no stories about families and unit. Oh, I know y'all. We don't want to watch Claudine. We want to watch the pimps, hoes, and the drug dealers. That's what we want to watch.
I, I was visiting a friend the other day, and they were watching this show. I mean, I've heard about it, but I've never seen it. And they were clamoring over this show called Power.
Ugh, yeah.
And all it showed was you getting your black ass killed every 5 minutes.
Right.
And I'm like, I mean, and they're watching it like, man,
This is great.
we would rather be doing nothing else.
This is great.
And
And
I'm like,
yeah. And they green light that. Okay. They green light that. So I'm talking about, okay, so we're talking, who are we talking to? I don't even know. I talk a lot of people. But people got ideas about TV shows. People got ideas about movies. So I watched, this is what I saw. I saw that a gentleman made a movie about a madam in Mississippi. Have you heard about this, Carrie?
no,
The Mississippi madam?
no.
Okay, there's a woman named Nellie something. I forget her last name, child. But she was the Mississippi madam. She was a madam in Natchez, Mississippi for 60 years, untouched by the police or anyone. Okay. So what I saw was a YouTube that was like a feeler. Like, we want to do this documentary about Nellie, and we need you to support us. It was a white dude, right? Okay, kids, do not make fun of me saying white dude, okay? That's what he was. Anyway, he was what he was. And he said, please fund me. We need to get the story before the people that know her story are all gone. Okay, so it worked. Okay, so evidently it worked. Next thing you know, he has a trailer out about the Mississippi Madam, and then next thing you know, it's on Netflix. So I find it on Netflix. I watched it just yesterday or whatever this week, and I was like, it was kind of boring. But anyway, I was like, they funded that thing. Okay, they funded it. We pay for sports channels. We pay for Netflix. We pay for Sling. We pay for cable TV. We pay for all kinds of things. Do you think we could not give like $20 a month and fund each other making movies and television that is going to be enriching and entertaining and they're going to edifying for us? Why can't we do that? And then, so this guy made this movie. And, I started watching. I was like, okay, she's a man. They say she educated people. She sent kids to college. She was, a good person. She gave people money when they down and out. She had this house and all that. But then I come to find out that, y'all, this happened between like 1940 and 1980 or something like that. That's not enough years, is it? I don't know. It was 60 years. So maybe it was 1920. I don't know. But anyway, she only serviced white men. She had black, Asian, white, even all these different nationalities of prostitutes. They actually had weekend prostitutes. Married women would go there and just prostitute for the weekend, or they would come there and prostitute while their men were offshore, working on the boats fishing. They had part-time prostitutes. Okay, and she had them all, and she only allowed white men in that place. All the government officials, all people that were big in Hollywood, people that were big and daggone Las Vegas, she had them all. She had free tickets to all the World Series games because she had big wig clients that came to her brothel. And I kind of felt not good about that. I didn't respect that. I mean, I know it was a thing for the time, but she didn't really leave anything. Her house is dilapidated. It is, that's not the word, dilapidated. whatever the word is.
Dilapidated.
It's in ruins. It's in ruins. Her house is in ruins, child. Okay, it's not kept up. It's not a museum. So all that so-called money she made being the matter for 60 doggone years, where is the money? What does she have to show for herself, catering to these European men who praise her? Like, so the whole video was a bunch of old white European folk who was talking about how wonderful she was and how much a good woman she was and how her house was laid out and how she had Coke bottles and she sold beer for $5 when a beer didn't cost nothing but 50 cents or $1 at the time. And I was like, I just felt dirty after it. And I was like, again. I don't know. But what it did show me is that we can, if they can make a movie out of something that ain't even interesting and ain't even worthy and it's not edifying or enlightening or anything, then we can take our money. We spend more money on sneakers and dumb stuff, okay? And weave and all kinds of stuff. Not to say that there's anything wrong with weave, because yes, we have a salon and this in Johns Creek, Atlanta, Georgia, called Explicit Styles. Come there. Anyway, got to promote the business. But anyway, but
you know what? But
I'm just saying, we spend money on a lot of things. We can spend money on making our lives enriched.
I mean, there's so much. There's so much as a group of people that we should be doing that would blow us all up. And I just can't see our own selfish gains why we would just turn our backs on it. Here's an example.
Right.
With the hair thing.
Uh-oh.
So the people who came up with the locks, this lady came up with sister locks. Sisters walking around with locks, bad as hell. So some Koreans invent a fox locks. We would go pay to get that instead of supporting the sister who came up with the whole idea.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And you can say what you want. Sisters walking around this motherfucker with their natural hair off the hook.
Right.
Because it shows another side of them. They don't really give a fuck what nobody think of them. They look fine the way they are, and they do.
Right.
So that's what gets me about, the things that we do. We go support other people and what they do, even though, and fill their pockets up.
Right. The struggle is real when you have your own business, and sometimes you have to, you have to support, and maybe everything ain't flowing like it is, because sometimes it's hard to get things or do things than they have it. They work together. Okay. When they go for a business, everybody falls in line and supports that business. They make money and then they support the next business. That's how they build. They truly build. But when we do a business, it's us struggling alone. Ain't nobody else in the family or in the community putting in to try to make sure the business work. You are on your own. So sometimes, but anytime you're doing it like that, it's not gonna be as easy peasy and nice and flow as easy and wonderful and be as meticulous as somebody who has all this whole network of help. Okay, you got to understand that. So we have to be a little bit more forgiving with each other when a brother or a sister has a business. What goes into it, we try to bring the excellence because we know that our people like nice things. Okay, we try to bring the excellence. I know that's what we like, but at the same time, it really does cost. Like even doing a summit right, it costs a lot of money. Okay, it takes a lot of money to do the summit right and to bring things like and have the books and have artifacts and have things to talk about, poster board, all the stuff that really people want to see, they want there. Okay, they appreciate it there. However, doing that costs money, and doing things the right way costs money. Paying for things for people, accommodating people the right way costs money. Okay, and so when people sit up there and want to talk crap about somebody or how they're doing it or what they're charging, that's some craziness. Like let's not do that. If somebody else has the resources to do it for free or do it differently, cool. But if you're gonna do it on some other level and it's gonna be a cost to it, then that's all another thing. But we just gotta respect the fact that when you're doing business and when you're offering things to people, if you want things to be at a certain level, some of these things you're gonna have to pay for. Okay? Because we don't live in China and we ain't got Chinese relatives that's hooking us up. So if you want hair weave and you're getting it from a Negro Indian, then it may cost a little more because we ain't got the connects. But it's about building. It's more than just that. And that's what let's go on segue. Woo! And that's what the Jews took from us. They do not let their money leave their community. They spend their money with their people. That's part of their religion. That's part of their religion. That's what Christianity took away from us. It took away that whole principle that you need to support your community. That's why they win. They took our religion. Not that you need it, but if you're going to have one that works. And true Hebrew religion, theology, works because it tells you how to conduct yourself in life. And it says you need to support each other's business and do right by each other in business. And you keep your dollars in your community. You do it. They have that. They have principles in with which to treat each other in life. And it helps them to win. And they took that from us. Every book, whether it's this one, talks about us being Hebrew-like. Or this one, they came and they did a New Testament as soon as they got on shore. And it is in Algonquin. How come they say we ain't had no written language? They wrote that stuff. And you know when this was made? 1661, y'all. Let me get it right. Come on now. We have the guidelines, but we just understand that everything you've been mistold. The putting you off where you should be as far as spiritually, that's an intention. The putting you off on how you should conduct yourself in life with each other, that's on intention. If we were rolling like the daggone Jews are it's like a nickname. They knew it was blasphemy for them to call themselves Hebrews because they ain't it. So they call themselves Jews because they know they ain't it. But yet they're using all the major principles of the Torah. They're using the Torah. And the Torah is better than the master? No, master's the temple. What's the name of the Quran? It's better than the Quran because it actually is very day-to-day principled as far as like how you do your day-to-day. It gives you principles for day-to-day life. And that Torah, we ain't using. Not that the Bible Bibles are full of daggone principles and fairy tales and little tales, and some of it's real and some of it's not. And they're finding a lot of the Bible stories have the people in the Bible are actually real people that they have actually found evidence of. I don't know if that's true or not because they lie so much. I don't have any idea. Okay, I don't know. However, that's what they're saying. And But the reality is this. I can tell you one thing is true. That the Hebrew Israelites, I don't know how they're doing things. I don't know if they're following the Torah like the Jews are, but the Jews are doing it right, and it's working. It's working. And if I was to tell anybody to do anything, I would say get your butt up on a Saturday morning and get yourself in a Jewish temple and infiltrate that. Because we need to know what the world they're doing to win so well. We need to get in on their game. In fact, we need to demand that they let us in on their game. That's what I would do. I wouldn't even try to do no Hebrew Israelite stuff because they don't know what they're doing. I don't think they know. But I know the Jews are doing it well. What they stole from us, they stole it and they learned it well. They studied it well. So I would recommend that everybody goes and get yourself up on a Saturday morning and go to your nearest temple and start to introduce yourself to those daggone rabbis and get to know what they know. Because they know something. I'm just saying. That's my thought on that. I feel like that's just it. I feel like you have to look at the evidence of what the word that they are following is doing for their lives. You have to look at that. I feel like everything is like, show me this, show me the money, show me the evidence of how it affects the impact of it. And let me tell you, what they're following in that Torah is working. It's working for them. Even though it's not them, even though it's stolen, it's working. I'm just saying. Anyway.
But what isn't it? But should we be doing what they doing? Since you said that they came and took what they stole from
It's
us.
ours. It's ours. It's ours.
Okay.
It's ours. So it's not copying them. It's reclaiming what's ours.
Yeah.
And I think they owe it to us to show us. I think that's the right way. I think I think a bunch of us should get together and be like, boom, we should be infiltrating synagogues. Like, boom, boom, boom. Come 10, 20 deep, 50 deep, just go in there and be like, yeah, now we wanna convert. Do this.
Okay,
Because all the secrets that they have are our secrets. And if they were able to win in this way and they are false Hebrews, what are we gonna be able to do with that wisdom, with that knowledge? What? Come on now. Anyway, that's just a thought.
So do you think us getting these other groups and being in these other groups like Moors, blah blah blah, it takes us away from that studying or that what they stole from us?
Yeah, I think the Moors, I think, okay, the thing with the Moors, and I respect the Moors. Don't get me wrong, I respect them. Why do I respect them? Because of how they originated and who originated them. And I found them really disturbing because they're very adamant. They're very prideful about it. They're very stuck, And the thing about their stuckness is the problem is that they haven't thought about Noble Drew Ali. They haven't really prayed about him and thought about what he was going through. Why did he do what he did? And I prayed about it, and I prayed and prayed and thought, and asked the ancestors, asked God, what was he? Was he evil? Why did he do what he did? And he's not evil. He was not an evil man. He was a good genius. Noble Drew Ali was an Indian. He was raised by Indians. He was raised on a reservation. He knew he was Indian. He knew he was Indian more than most of the people that was born. He was born like the 1890s or something like that. He was born in 1800s, like late 1800s. And he knew he was Indian, but he saw what was happening in the country. You could not claim yourself as being Indian for the life. They wanted to change our birth certificates when Plecker came along. They wanted to go ahead and regulate how the midwives were writing us down as. It got real deep when he got to be an adult and he saw what was happening. And they were catching hell. Okay? Because there were people still claiming that they're Indian, and the colonialists weren't having it. They're like, dang, when are we going to get free of the threat of them knowing who they are and taking this land back? We got to get free of it. We got to stop them from saying they're Indian. So Noble Drew Ali saw that. He saw how they were being treated. Couldn't go in the same restaurants. It was a hard time. Couldn't get no job. Couldn't make no move, nothing. So he wanted to find something, and he even says that in his writing, that he wanted to find something to protect and uplift the Negro man, the Negro people. And that's why he created the Moorish Society or whatever temple, Moorish Temple, it's a long name. So Moorish Science Temple or whatever the heck. It's got a long name. He created it because he knew that the Moors had power. The Moors were bad. They were Africans that were, they were the Africans of Europe. They were the kings and queens of Europe. They were the heads of Germany, the heads of Italy, the heads of Spain, the heads of England. The Moors was everywhere. Their DNA's everywhere, all over Europe. That's them. And then when they got kicked out of one European country after the other, they were homeless. And they were pirates. Standing, hanging around the sea, catching whatever European ship tried to pass through, and then they would enslave them and sell them, or they would hold them for ransom. They really wanted the aristocracy, so they could hold them for ransom, and then they would ask for tribute, so that the daggone European kings and queens would have to pay them every month or whatever, however often, every year, every month, however, every 6 months, however they worked it out, they would have to pay them indefinitely for them giving their people back or not killing them. So when America got free of England and they found out that, oh, we trying to go get our stuff from England or go to, whatever, Spain and get our trade, get our spices or wherever they were heading to. I don't know what they were getting, but they tried to do their trade stuff. And they ran into those daggone Moors, and them Moors were like, hey, you got to pack. And they were like, oh, shoot, we ain't got no defense. We're not ready for this. We didn't know that Britain was taking care of this. They had paid them tribute. They had done. So they were like, oh, shoot. Well, let's negotiate something with you Moors, So the Moors had a power, okay? They had authority in the world, okay? So when he decided to say, okay, we Negroes are Moors. Moors been here. We're Moors. When he decided to say that, he knew what exactly he was doing, because Moors had clout in the world. Moors gave us a standing that was outside of being Indian or being Negro. It gave us a higher level in the world. And that's what he was seeking to do. Did he really believe we were Moors? I doubt it. He knew he was Indian. He knew we were Indian. Did he know the Moors had been to America? Yeah, the Moors brought Columbus was, they came here all the time. They're the sailors. They go all over the place. They've been here all the time. Did they mix with us? Maybe, sure. But not on a very big level. Not in a massive level. But he knew that they were here. And he was like, let's claim ourselves as Moors. And that will give us a standing in which they cannot mess with us. It gives us that Moorish clout. And he was able to lift up some brothers out of oppression and give them a little bit of pride and a little bit of standing and a little bit of protection. And that's wonderful for the early 1900s. But it's daggone 2020, y'all. It's 2020. What are you doing? Okay? We got the ANDRIP, we got the ADRIP, we got all this. We can claim ourselves as indigenous people. Man, I was online today. I saw all kinds of World Indigenous Conference, this conference, that World Indigenous, that World Indigenous Law Conference. Indigenous people are on fire. It's happening. Okay? You call yourself a Moor, you're calling yourself a daggone criminal. You're calling yourself an international criminal. Do you understand? Yeah, they might have been royalty. Yeah, but they were kicked out of every place they were in. And they became international criminals. So why are you considering yourself something that, first of all, you're not? You don't have any genealogy to connect yourself to being. And if Noble Drew Ali was alive today, he would say, "Boo, we are Indians, babe. We're Indians. What are you doing? Wake up."
What makes it so hard? Like you said, I think you said he came up with the Moors in the 1920s or 30s.
Right,
What
1924.
what makes it so hard for us to change, to grow and change when we see something is not working? What makes it so hard for us to, evolve forward and teach our children to think forward when everything is changing? We just stay stuck in ideologies that two
Ego.
or 300 years old.
Ego. I ain't wrong. You ain't right. And even more than you, I ain't wrong. You ain't right. You ain't right. Ego. Hate. Ooh, no. You don't know more than me. No. It's that disrespect we have for each other. The disrespect, and it's that ego. Also, what I've had people say is like, you think the white man is that smart that he done fooled me? Come on, baby. You understand that everything we get disseminated from this school system and from this television is out of their mouths?
Every blink.
Everything we ingest is from them. And you're gonna act like, I should be offended that to even say that, yeah, we were fooled. Hell yeah, we were fooled by design. Hello, and we're still being fooled, evidently, because you sitting there claiming you're more, and it doesn't make any sense. You ain't gonna get nothing out of it but a boot. What are you gonna get? I don't understand what are you gonna get out of being Moors. They did get something for a while. They were able to get like, oh, I'm a Moor, I'm protected, and it did work for a minute, but it ain't working no more. Time for a new game.
Yeah.
Time for a new game. It was appropriate for the time, and it worked. And I don't think he meant anything ill by it. But Marcus Garvey, oh, he meant to do something trifling. That whole back to Africa thing, that's intentionally evil. But Noble Drew Ali Moore stuff, that was him trying to protect us. Different motive.
With Marcus Garvey, one of the questions I always ask Garveyites is, why did Marcus Garvey promote that back to Africa in Jamaica? Why did
Right.
he have, right? Why did he come here? And after he left here, he didn't go back home. He went to England. He didn't go to Africa.
He didn't go to Africa.
And so it's very hard. I don't know why it's hard for them, but they can't seem to answer that question.
They don't want to answer that question. They don't want to answer it. They don't want to see it. And then they're mad because when you say that, because they don't want to believe that they've been convinced that he's some kind of hero. They want to think that they just naturally believe that he's a hero. But
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to be looked like they were made an ass out of. So they'll just
Right. But yet you see, we watched that movie, the King. Let me see if I can flip that. Let me see. The King of the Black King, made in 1932. Let me see if I can flip it.
If I could only get the organs to the newspapers in the carrying out of this here project, there's no telling how soon the truth will come to pass, and the plans which I fomented in my own head will come to fulfillment. But instead of that, they're all united against me. The best friend the colored people ever had.
Best friend.
The only one thus far who was able to get more than 3 of them to stick together overnight. The only one who could convince colored people that Africa is the home of the black man, and there's where you ought to be. Back home to Africa is my slogan. Excuse me, Mr. Emperor, but Mr. Longstreet says the lines are ready to perform for the parade, and he's just waiting on you to give your command and commence the action. Come, Mr. Longstreet, I say, come here this minute.
Just one more question, please, Mr. Emperor. What is the attitude of the Africans in regard to your transporting 4 million strangers into their land?
Well, now, brother, you done gone too far for me to give you the attitude of the whole of Africa. That comes out of another department. as long as he is in charge of all the measurements and machinery of the movement.
He said latitude, not attitude.
Show this report to Mr. Lawson, and he'll give me any necessary information concerning the latitude of Africa. And that's all for the present.
Well, I thank you. I hope you'll grant me another opportunity to interview you.
That's all right, you entirely well. Latitude of Africa.
Okay, so let me flip it. All right, so basically, that's
Charcoal Johnson.
Huh?
Charcoal Johnson.
Charcoal Johnson. Charcoal Johnson is an all-black film inspired by Marcus Garvey in 1932. They were on it. They were on his case. They knew what he was doing. They did a whole film on it. They outed him, so to speak. They outed Marcus Garvey in this film. But still people, what was that? What year?
1932.
And it's 2020, and we got Lil Wayne trying to send people to Africa. Come on now. Come on now.
Yeah, and that's the sad part with me. We're moving into like 5G information, and we're still sloshing around with Marcus Garvey and teaching our children that going forward.
Oh yeah, still making him a hero. Still making him a hero. And then the children that's coming up, they're like, you know, like I'll go back to the two nurses. No, a nurse and a respiratory therapist. They're nothing like us. They're not us. They're not us.
Just the mental energy that's wasted is what we waste on ideologies like that. Is what pisses me off.
Right. Yeah, we don't want to think about what's right, what's wrong, and we want to be like we want to stay lost.
Right.
This term Negro demoralizes us and is detrimental. I feel it doesn't give us any association past the slave ship.
I think that the first task of people of African descent, whether in the United States or in Africa or elsewhere, is to get rid of this slave named Negro.
This curious word Negro was seldom or never used in Africa itself. And this word has no meaning, or no worthwhile meaning at all, in Africa. I would doubt myself if it has any useful meaning anywhere else.
What is a Negro? A simple question, but the answer is not so simple. My name is Ossie Davis. I'm an actor and a writer, and the narrator of our series of programs on the history of the Negro people. I also.
So in 1965, we were searching. We were lost, as we are today still, trying to find our way. But we know some of us know our way, but there's a lot of still lost people. But we were so lost that the only thing we could feel was shame. The shame was like, Negro is a terrible term. That was our money term. They had us running away from being called Negro when the white man clearly said Negro ain't in Africa. They had us running to call ourselves Africa. These so-called, what are they, scholars? Yeah, you would call them scholars, I guess, right? They had us running from being Negro and running to being African because, oh, it's a shameful term. What are you ashamed of? You ashamed of the lies they said about our real history? You're supposed to be a whole scholar. Have you not read? Have you not researched? That was our undoing in 1965 when we were lost and exploring, and we showed ourselves ripe for whatever they wanted to plug us into. Boop. Give us an answer. Give us an answer. We'll take it. Anything but being Negro. Unbelievable.
Wow. Well, listen, Empress, we gotta do this again because look, y'all, we got about information for about 20 more hours.
Yep.
We got that much, but we going up on an hour and a half, and I got to get ready to get out of here. So,
All right.
Lisa, give us one last tidbit that we can take with the weekend, so we can build on or we can implement into our ideas and our plans.
Well, we are actually broadcasting in and through the Accawmackes closed group. Okay, the closed group, and the Accawmackes, what we need to do, first of all, is we need to love each other up. And first of all, let's just start with your family, okay? I want to say this. Love is the most important of all of these commandments, right? We got to love each other. So, want to talk about commandments? We talk about the blue and the tassels for a minute since we're talking about rabbis. Let me just add that. Okay. So, there are the tassels, these tassels that Indians wear, the tassels, fringe, is important and is based upon Hebrew faith, okay? Biblical stuff. Because the tassels are worn by the Jewish rabbis as well. Fringe. Why? Because these tassels, the fringe, represents the 10 commandments. So on 4 corners of their garment, they wear this fringe, okay? And a portion of the fringe that they wear is dyed a special blue. It's supposed to come from some rare sea creature that they have this blue dye, this special blue dye in. And so the color blue is significant because the color blue represents to us the Indian people, hence the Hebrew people. It represents where God's throne is, where the sea, the blue represents where the sea meets the sky. And the Accawmackes are right where the sea meets the sky. What a coincidence. But anyway, that's about fringe. Fringe is not just a decoration, it has spiritual meaning. And it's significant all the way through to Bible times to today. And I say this to say that we need to be mindful of the fact that we need to care for each other and honor each other. That's what love is, okay? Because what we do has significance. These things that we don't think have significance is significant. And so by us honoring our ancestors, people say, oh, you worshiping your No, Indians don't worship ancestors. They worship God. But God commands that you honor your ancestors. And so therefore, by honoring your ancestors and honoring your mother and father, that's your ancestors. And we share these ancestors. We are all kin. So when we honor our ancestors and by treating each other right, we honor our father and mother. You know your mommy and daddy don't want y'all fighting. You think your mother and father want y'all fighting? I know mine don't want us fighting. I know I had to sit up there and get myself right. You have to go above our differences and do what is the higher thing and the best thing. You have to rise above that and love each other, because that honors your mother and father, your heavenly father, your earthly mother, however you want to look at it, your literal mother and father. Look at it like that if you want to. Look at it as your ancestors, your great grandparents, as your fathers and mothers that we all share. Look at it how you need to make it work for your own theology. Okay? But make it work so you can do the work and love each other the right way. Love yourself, honor each other. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Gary.
Thank you for sharing with us tonight.
Okay.
So everybody hit that like button. Everybody hit subscribe. This is the kind of information we're going to give and share, because we want what's said to trickle down to the way we treat each other and the way we act towards each other. We can't keep going the way we're going because it's not sustainable.
Mm-mm.
And so got some other guests coming on in the show, how we are connected to this energy grid that's called life. You are America.
Oh, yeah.
You're not Americans. You are America. America is what birthed you. You are the natural resource. And we're here to share information that proves that point.
Mm-hmm.
So check us out at AfricanAmericans8Africans.us. Support us. We have books for sale. Support
Get
us.
money. Pay for it. Raise your prices, Gary.
Support us, you guys. We support you. Thank you guys for joining us. Have a good night. Also have a good weekend. I'm about to call you, Lisa.
Okay, bye.